Good morning, students. Today we will learn how to create a program to read a text file line by line and display each word separated by a hash character. So first we will open a text file which contain a few lines, and in that line we will replace all the white space because we all know that we separate the each word with a white space. So we will replace that white space with a hash character. So you can see on your screen on the right side I have displayed a text file, that is kv.txt file. This is a kv.txt file, and this kv.txt file contain initially 3 lines. Name is Ram, row number is 9, section is A, then again name was Ram. Now we will read these 3 lines and replace all the white space with hash character. But after replacing, we will not going to write these line inside the file. We will only display on our interactive mode, because according to the question we have to display each word. Display mean we have to print on our interactive mode. So how we can do that? First, we all know that whenever we are working with the any file, first we open that file, and after opening the file we perform all the operation that we want to perform. If I want to read that file, then I will read that file, I can write that file, I can append that file. Now first I'm going to open that file, then we will perform operation. At the end we will close that file. Now you can see on the left hand side there is a coding. The first line contain FO. So this is a file object name. File object name is any identifier which is pointing to a file. So FO is an identifier, or you can say that this is the file object. This FO is going to point some file. Why I have given this file name FO? FO mean file object. So we can assign any name to this file object. After writing the file object name, I'm using here assignment operator, and after then assignment operator, what I'm going to assign here, I'm calling a open function. This open function is an inbuilt function which is used to open any file. Inside the open function we pass 2 arguments. The first argument is a file path and file name with its extension, and next argument is a mode, means in which mode you want to open that file. So we always pass the path name, the path of the file, or you can say the mode, the path of the file or name of the file with its extension in form of string, and the mode is also we write here in form of string. Now I'm opening a kv.txt file, means I'm opening a kv text file in a read mode. R mean read mode. So what this open function will do, it will check is there any kv.txt file exist. If this file exists in a current working directory, then it will open that file in a read mode. Otherwise this file will be, if file does not exist, then it will raise the error. Now what is next line? In the first line I have opened the file, and I have opened the file in a read mode. In the second statement I have used here a for loop, and through this for loop what I will do, I will read the data from kv.txt, and then I will replace all the white space with hash character. So how I can do that? First, here you know that for is a keyword, and after writing for keyword we will write here a variable name, or you can say the identifier name, and the variable name is here is a line. Now this line variable is going to point some value. Which value? After writing the variable name, identifier naming, we use here in operator. In is a membership operator. What this in operator will do? After writing in operator, we mention here some series of data. So this in operator will assign data from this series one by one to the line variable. So what is the series? So here I'm calling a read line function. We all know that read line function return data in form of list. So this read line function is I'm calling this read line function for FO. FO is a file object of kv.txt. That's mean this read line function is going to read all the line that is inside kv.txt and return that line in form of list. That's mean in this section here it contain a list, and what is inside this list, because read line read all the line and return that line in form of list. So each line is act inside a list as an item, as an element. So the first element inside the list is first line. What is the first line? First line is name is Ram. So first element is name is Ram. And what is second element? Second element is second line, and that is roll is 9. And what is third element? Third element is third line, and that is section is A. So I'm writing in a short. Okay, now there is nothing. I'm not going to write this one. Okay, now you can see the first item, that is first line, and this is in form of string, and second line is also in form of string, and third line is also in form of string. Now this list contain all the item, all the element in form of string. Now what happened here? First, this in membership operator will assign first element, or the whatever the value stored at the starting index. So what is the indexing value? So do indexing. So this is at 0 index, this is at 0 index, and this line at first index, and this line is at second index. So whatever the value stored at 0 index, that is going to be assigned at variable line. So that's mean now line is pointing to the first element that is at index number 0. So that is name is Ram. Okay, now line is pointing to name is Ram. Now move to the body part of this for loop. What is the statement inside this for loop? Inside this for loop, here I'm calling a print function. What is inside this print function? Inside this print function, I'm calling replace function. We all know that we apply replace function on a string. So look here, this replace function is called for line. What is line? Line is a variable which is pointing to a string. Now whatever inside this line, that must be a string data type. Now inside the line, here the data is name is Ram. Now this replace function replace white space with a hash character. So first argument inside the replace function is that argument that you want to replace, and second argument is that argument that you want to replace with. So I want to replace white space with hash. Where you want to replace this? Inside the line variable, and line contain name is Ram. Now what happened? This replace function return name hash is hash Ram. This replace function return name hash is hash Ram, and this print function will print whatever replace function will return. So in this way you can print the line, first line on your interactive mode. Now what happened after executing this statement? There is no another statement inside this for loop. Now the controller will go back to this for loop. Right now line is pointing to the first element. Now this line will point to second element, and the second element is at index number 1. So what will happen here? Now we will assign second element to the line variable. What is second element? That is roll is 9. Okay, I have assigned roll is 9 to line variable. Now it will execute the statement inside this for loop again. I'm calling here print statement. Inside this print statement, I called replace function for line variable. So whatever the data stored inside line, that must be in form of string. This replace function replace all white space with hash character. So what this replace function return? This replace function return roll number hash is hash 9. When this replace will return this string, then this print function will print this string on your interactive mode. Again it will go back, and now line will point to next element. Now what is next element? That is section is A. In same way it will print section is A on your screen. After that, when it return back to the for loop, there is nothing after this third element. So what happened? The controller will come out from this loop and read another statement outside this loop. So what is next statement outside this loop? Here I'm calling close function for fo. Fo is a file object that is pointing to kv.txt file. That's mean I want to close this kv.txt file. So this close function will close kv.txt file. Now let's perform a practical on Python interactive mode. Now see, you can see here I have already written, so I will create a new file, and you can give the name to this file. So I'm writing replace hash dot py. So this is the file name. So what we will do, first we will create a file object and then assign some value to this file object. This is any identifier. Fo is a identifier which is pointing to some location. So it is pointing to which location? So whatever I will assign here, right now I'm calling a open function. Inside this open function I will pass two arguments. First argument is kv dot txt, and then I will open this file in a particular mode. That mode is read mode. So I want to open this file in a read mode. Move to next line. Now I will use here for loop, and through this for loop, after writing the keyword for, write some identifier name, that is I have written here line. And after then we will use in membership operator. Writing in membership operator, we will mention some series of data. So the series of data is in form of list, and where from it come from read line function. So I'm calling here read line function. So this read line function will read fo file object and return the data in form of list. So list is also a series of element. Move to the body part of this for loop. What I will do, so I try to make simple. I have created here a variable that is r, and after creating this variable or identifier, I will assign some value to this r. So how we can assign? Here I'm calling replace function for line, and what I want to replace? I want to replace white space with a hash character. So here I want to replace white space with hash character. So this replace function will replace all white space with hash character that is stored inside line and return that line to R. Now whatever the line will return after replacing white space with hash, it will be assigned to R. Now I want to print on my screen. How I can do that? I can print by calling print function and pass this R as an argument inside this print function. Now you can see, come out from this for loop and close this file. Now before running this program, we will check what is stored inside kv.txt. So there is already data stored inside kv.txt in form of using hash and without hash. So we will use some different file, that is, for example, user file. So let's use some different file where we can easily, okay, this file, this is d.txt, because kv already contains some hash characters, so we will get confused. Okay, now run this program. Now you can see all the white space that is inside d text file will replace with hash character, and it will display on your screen. It will not save this data inside the file. It will only going to display on your screen. If you want to write this data inside the file, then you need to open this d.txt file. You can check it will not do any changes inside this file. Why? Because after replacing this white space with hash character, I'm only printing this return value on the interactive mode, because I'm calling here print function, or this print function only display the data on the interactive mode. It will not save that data inside that file. If you want to write that data inside the file, then what we need to do, we need to open this file in a read write mode. After opening this file in a read write mode, then what we can do, we can call a write function, and for example call the write function. So how we can call write function? First write the object name where you want to write, that is fo, then call to write function, and this is write function, what you want to write, whatever the store inside the r. Now you can check, okay, print function will display on your interactive mode, and this r write function will write inside fo file whatever data that is pointed by r variable. So let's check what is inside. Now you can see first it will read the data, and after reading the data, cursor will move in the next line, and in this next line it will start writing. So from this line it will start writing. So here it have the write function has written 2 line that is already display on your screen. So I hope this is clear. Okay, now what happen if I will call here only read function? Now read function return data in form of string. If you will do it, then it will display in this way, because read function returns in string form, and inside the string each character is going to assign to line, and this line variable will check whether that character is white space or not. If that is not white space, then return that value to r, and it will print on your screen. If that particular value at a index number will white space, then it will replace that white space with hash, and it will print on the vertical way, because the read function will return the data in form of string, and read line function return the data in form of list. So that's why it will display in this way. So I hope this is clear to all of you.